afternoon, I'm Lauren Scafidi.
I'm Alexandra Lewis. Tom and Kim are off today, and let's get straight to the weather this afternoon. Right now, our weather impact team is tracking some afternoon storms, giving you a live look at the radar. You can see a lot of activity. In fact, there's some flooding potential near the Alexander Mountain Fire in northern Colorado. We are watching that closely, and we have team heading that way, and of course, we'll bring you updates as we get them.
A live look outside in Denver. We've stayed dry in town, but the main concern is in those burn scar areas. Weather impact meteorologist Kathy Sapin joins us now for a look at your forecast. Hey, Kathy.
Good afternoon. We've had rain the last 3 days, and rain on those saturated soils will create the possibility of some flooding and mudslide potential in the burn scar area. So we're watching the pattern so very carefully. Temperatures have warmed. We're in the upper 80s in Denver after that patchy fog gave way to sunshine, destabilizing the atmosphere. Severe storms are possible south and east of Denver, but Denver under a flood watch, as is the burn scar areas, for storms that are tracking from the southwest to the northeast, and they have the potential to produce locally heavy rainfall. As a matter of fact, 2 flash flood warnings, one in the Cameron Peak burn scar in Larimer County, the other in the Alexander Mountain Fire. And that burn zone there has already seen about 1/10 of an inch to about 1/2 an inch of rainfall, and additional showers are coming into both those burn scar areas out of the west and southwest. We're tracking some heavy storms, one severe cell moving out of Colorado Springs, and there's the chance that Denver will see a little bit of rain as this evening drive gets underway. Denver remains under the flood watch through 9 o'clock. Much of eastern Colorado will be extended out beyond that, and the threat for storms with hail certainly a potential tonight as well. So a lot of ingredients in the atmosphere for an active weather evening, but temperatures will be comfortable starting in the mid 80s and then after the sun sets dropping into the mid 70s. Coming up, the timing and impact of the heavy rain we're expecting in those burn scar areas tonight. I'll have that forecast in just a bit.
Thanks, Kathy. Flooding and mudslides east of Telluride over the weekend are causing road closures. Highway 145 is closed as crews work to clear the area. New pictures this morning show just how much debris is in the road. Local traffic in and out of Telluride is still open. The San Miguel County Sheriff's Office says it could take a week to clear all the mud on Black Bear Pass. And an update at this hour, Colorado Highway 82 near Glenwood Springs is back open after mudslides this weekend. CDOT says this mudslide stretched about 3/4 of a mile, leaving behind 3 to 4 feet of mud, rock, and debris. The highway reopened about an hour ago.
Commerce City police say they usually only have, 4, 5, 6 homicides a year, but this weekend, the suburb saw 4 murders.
It was a part of a violent weekend that included shootings and stabbings in Denver and Aurora. In total, 6 people lost their lives. A man accused of one of the Commerce City shootings is a local MMA fighter. Kelly Rinke is here with some more details. Kelly?
Lauren and Alex, Lumumba Sayers Sr. spent years of his life working to combat gun violence in Colorado, and he's now accused of shooting and killing a 28-year-old man on Saturday. This happened nearly a year after the death of Sayers' son. His son was shot and killed last August in Denver. Saturday's shooting in Commerce City happened during a pool party for a child. Court documents say witnesses saw Sayers Sr. walk up and shoot the victim, Malcolm Watson. The affidavit suggests a possible motive that Sayers Sr.'s son had been murdered a year ago by a friend of Watson. In 2021, 9 News profiled Sayers Sr. and the Aurora gym he said he created to make a safe space for kids.
I want them to know that they have a place to turn to if they're ever in trouble. If there's ever a decision that they are unsure of, that they can call us and get those answers to those problems.
Sayers Sr., who is 46 years old, is still in the Adams County Jail facing first-degree murder and felony menacing charges. To date, no one has been convicted of the death of his son. Lauren.
Thank you so much, Kelly. Today, the jury started deliberations in the trial of former Republican Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters. Closing arguments were given this morning. Peters faces 7 felony charges, including attempting to influence a public servant and identity theft. So we are definitely keeping a close eye on that. She admitted to sneaking an outsider into Mesa County's voting system to look for election rigging. Prosecutors say that's a felony. Peters did not testify in her own defense, concerned that prosecutors would bully her around. Our Marshall Zellinger is in Grand Junction as the jury deliberates. Once a verdict is in, we'll bring you that update on air and 9news.com.
A lawsuit accusing the Purina pet food plant of failing to stop its stench in North Denver continues. Now we're hearing from the company itself. Here's investigative reporter Jeremy Hohola, who sniffs through all the legal jargon and gives us an update on where the legal case stands.
It really stinks living next to a pet food plant in Denver. That's according to this class action lawsuit filed by neighbors against Nestle Purina back in May. If you know Denver, your nose knows there's always been a stench here. Now attorneys for the pet food plant have officially responded to the lawsuit in classic wordy legal jargon.
And here is one of the responses to the claim that the plant there is highly odoriferous. Nestle admits that some of the products manufactured at the facility contain ingredients derived from animal byproducts.
As to whether those ingredients are highly odoriferous involves a subjective assessment that...
Translation. In other words, you're not being specific enough and everybody smells things differently.
I'm a Denver native and this has been an ongoing thing for years and years.
9 News legal expert Whitney Traylor took a look at the lawsuit and says it's clear the plant's attorneys are doing their job. They're denying all smelly claims, including raising the possibility the stench could be coming from somewhere else.
So there's all these variables, and this is why litigation is expensive and takes so long, because now you're going to have to get experts. You're going to, there's going to be a lot of discovery. This is going to be actually somewhat of a complicated case because the defendants are going to try and really say, well, it wasn't all us. Your nose may be overly sensitive, things like that.
Nestle's attorneys also point out in their response people should have known what they were moving next to when they bought their homes. The plant has been there since the 1930s, and of course, we'll stay nosy on this case and see where it goes in the coming months. Sorry. Live in the newsroom, Jeremy Hohola, 9 News.
I'm here for the puns. I'm here for the updates. Jeremy, thank you. So happening this week, Vice President Harris's running mate, Governor Tim Walz, will be here in Colorado. He will be doing a campaign fundraising tour with 5 events in different states. The event here in Colorado will be in Denver. It's unclear when or where this event is, but we're keeping an eye out, and of course, we'll keep you updated as we learn that information. Well, today marks 1 week until the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. New polling shows the race for the White House is very competitive.
Vice President Kamala Harris is pivoting her focus on policy this week. NBC's Bree Jackson has more.
Preparations are underway for the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next week. The revamped Democratic ticket is riding a wave of enthusiasm and seeking to build excitement around their policies,
including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Echoing former President Trump.
We are going to not charge taxes on tips, people making tips.
After not posting on the platform X for nearly a year, Trump is returning to promote his agenda in an interview tonight with Elon Musk. Meanwhile, J.D. Vance is backpedaling on Mr. Trump's recent comments, suggesting he's open to banning the abortion pill.
His goal is not to block mifepristone, it's to let states make the decision on abortion policy.
Harris has been a staunch champion for reproductive rights, an area where Republicans struggle. Polling shows she's now leading Trump among likely voters in 3 key swing states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, within the margin of error. Signs of a more competitive race since President Biden dropped out. During his first interview since doing so, he explained his decision.
My Democratic colleagues in the House and Senate thought that I was going to hurt them in the races.
Biden hopes to help the Democratic ticket when he takes the stage at the convention. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Attorneys for Donald Trump are filing a long-shot bid to collect alleged damages from the FBI's Mar-a-Lago search. According to a $100 million claim, Trump says the August 2022 search wasn't appropriate and hurt his reputation. Trump filed the claim under the Federal Tort Claims Act, which allows people wronged by government employees to seek compensation. The search led to nearly 36 criminal charges. Trump had been fighting the case until it was dismissed by a judge last month.
It is such a big day today as it's move-in day for college students in Fort Collins. Thousands of Colorado State University Rams have been packing into residence halls since early this morning. More than 6,000 new students will be moving onto campus this week. As you can imagine, the energy has been high throughout the day. Students have some downtime before classes to get started. And to help the time pass, there are so many events scheduled throughout the week. CSU's president, in fact, had some simple advice for freshmen moving in. Just get involved.
So many things to do here and get involved. This is a big semester, big football, presidential election. We have all these things happening on campus. The energy is going to be amazing. So find your groups, go to things that will stretch your mind and stretch you socially and meet people who are completely different from you.
It's a big year for CSU. It's one of the biggest incoming freshman classes ever, with the most Colorado applicants it's ever seen.
With a little more than 2 weeks until the first game of the season, the Buffs are not making the cut in the newest AP college football poll. In fact, the Buffs only got to 1 vote to make the top 25 list. The preseason poll puts Georgia on top, followed by Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, and Alabama in the top 5. The highest ranked Big 12 college is Utah at 12th.